Welcome to the ChrissieCast, where I chat to interesting people from all over the world and also my special friends. Well, I tell you what, I certainly put on a bra for my very special next chat at the compound because I've got an international visitor. How fancy. Maria Bamford is a New York Times bestselling author, multi-award-winning stand-up comedian, and is beloved by both her peers and audiences all over the world. We get into the nitty-gritty of 12-step programs, making up songs about relationship counsellors, and how our one true source of human connection may well just be a barista called Kimmy. ChrissieCasters, settle in and enjoy US stand-up legend Maria Bamford. Maria Bamford.
Hello.
Oh, I'm so through. You might not remember, we have met before when you were last in Australia 5 years ago.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for remembering me and having me on your show. Thank you.
How could I forget you, Maria Bamford? I'm such a fan. Now, as we mentioned, you haven't been to Australia in 5 years. You're gearing up for a national tour. We've all been through a lot since the last time you were here. What are you hoping remains the same?
Well, and I've said this before, but I love a hedgehog and a vanilla slice and a Tim Tam. I hope the baked goods have really maintained their same level of availability. Number one, they're everywhere. Milk bars. I don't know how that is a thing. And then how delicious they are. They're so good.
I didn't know that hedgehog was an Australian food.
Yes! As far as I can tell. I mean, I've never had a hedgehog outside of Australia.
Did your mum in the 70s make a dish called Porcupines? Are you across them?
No!
Oh, my God, you must. I don't know if you're a cook. It's like mince and raw rice in it. I feel like it's an American thing. And then you put that little ricey meatball in like a pool of Campbell's Big Red soup.
What?
Yeah.
I love it. I won't be making that, but I love porcupines. No, these porcupines, clearly they've been bludgeoned if they're in tomato soup.
Well, they're called porcupines because when they cook in the soup, the little ricey bits stand up like little porcupines. It's so cute.
Well, now I kind of want to make them. Oh, my God.
I'll send you the recipe.
Okay, thank you.
Now, I have watched your streaming TV specials. I've just finished reading your book, which I absolutely loved, which is called Sure, I'll Join Your Cult. And I want to talk to you about some of my favourite bits in it, Maria.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, good.
Do you like people reading your stuff and then asking you to expand on it, or are you one of these people that just wants to write it and never think about it again?
No, I'm down. I mean, I'm in show business, so I love to talk about myself. Sadly, very sadly. But is it a gift? We don't know. It's hard to say. Ask my husband or my sister. They'll have an opinion.
I feel like it is a gift and you are giving it to us and we're very, very grateful. I love this bit. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of the intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, etc., etc. This is to have succeeded. How did you arrive at this incredibly succinct and thoughtful conclusion?
No, that quote is not from me. That is a quote that my mom put on Facebook as being her philosophy, which is, and I can't remember which philosopher or I want to say it's Roosevelt, but it's not. Anyways, so my mom put that out there, and I was like, what? That is not at all the philosophy that she told us as kids. What I got from my mom was keep it high and tight, Smiles, everyone smiles. And just accomplish some stuff. I want to see something shiny. That's what I got from my mom. I did not, so it was hilarious. I thought when she posted this exquisite, beautifully written quote that was not written by me.
It's so magical. I was like, yes.
Yes.
My mum was
right?
big. My mum was big on the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And exactly the same in our house. I'm like, can you show a little bit of serenity around here, please?
Well, and the great thing about the serenity prayer is that it is completely, in your idea of what, God grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Oh, I can't change that. I can't possibly change the fact that I'm irritating or irritated. The courage to change the things I can. I want you to do this. Let me move my arms. Move your arms from behind you.
Yeah, it's very easily customizable to be not very easy to live with.
Yeah, to whatever your desires. Apologies all around to anyone who's lived with a 12-stepper and been made amends to.
What do you think about that step?
What I wish is that it was not about going to the person directly and apologizing, but it was about either, if you're still in contact with that person, just changing. Just shut up and change. Change what you're doing. And then if they bring it up, then apologize. But the whole idea of going, I'm going to take you to lunch. And remember that one horrible time? You're going to apologize for the wrong thing. They're going to say, well, it wasn't just that. It was the whole other thing where you were, it's just really problematic and kind of a bit selfish on some level in that you don't know what you're apologizing for.
That's right. And it sort of assumes that if you just say I take you out for lunch and I'm making amends to you and I've been very cruel to you in the past.
Yes.
Making amends to someone, I don't know which step that is in the program.
It is number 8.
Right. So
direct amends.
Right towards the end there. It feels like if you get to step 8 and, I can say to you, I'm sorry for how I treated you, then that's it. But it doesn't sort of take into consideration the other person's acceptance of that.
Yeah, it has the same kind of self-involvement of an addicted person, the person who's like, it's all been about them. So it's not the greatest, but no. Oh well. People are doing the best they can, and sometimes it's not that good.
They are. And I went to a few meetings of OA, Overeaters Anonymous, many years ago.
Yes, very strange. That's a very strange program.
It is a very strange program, and I found, because I am a bit of a performer like you, my muscle memory kind of kicked in because for all intents and purposes, it's an audience.
It certainly is, yes.
And I tried to kind of make my experiences funny and entertaining.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I like about 12-step programs is that it's something that people made up to help themselves. So it's free, but it's not the greatest. It's not a safe space. If there is any safe space on the planet, I don't think there is. Whenever somebody says someplace is a safe space, I go, uh-oh. Some shit's about to go down. Someone's about to touch me at the small of my back without asking. But it's not ideal, but it's something.
It is something, but I felt like in the end I thought, I don't like the anonymous part of this because it kind of implies that if you use something too much because you're a sensitive, gentle person, then you should be ashamed of that and you can't speak about it and nobody can know.
Yeah, and I definitely don't agree with, I've read a ton about anonymity and why the program says it's important. And I can understand about not professionalizing the groups of like saying, oh, this is the Alcoholics Anonymous Center, like
Yeah.
that totally makes sense. But the whole idea that, the fact that I know that Brad P, we all know who Brad P
Yes.
is going to meetings in Malibu. I don't think he represents the program, the 12-step program. I just go, oh, that's awesome that Brad P has found help. And that's the odd thing about it, where I go, well, that seems sort of fear-based and almost kind of Catholic, sort of like, yeah, really odd. And I'm not into it.
Well, yeah, it is very Catholic. It's like it's exactly the same dynamic that, those old wooden rooms that you would sit in with the priest who must never know your face or identity.
Which, I mean, of course he knows who it is.
Of course he knows.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that is not my favorite. But again, it's free. It's less than 2 miles from my home. And those are the things, including my husband, those are the things that I love.
Yeah.
I choose to love them because they're close. Proximity is the key for me.
Let's talk about your husband, because I feel like, and I know that you have done this in your stand-up, finding somebody to live with forever is a kind of miracle.
It is, but it's also like, I think, at least for me, and because I have not been something towards things that have been naturally occurring. Like anytime I felt like, oh, this is the one, I've been terribly wrong, like just so off. So for me, I guess it's been more of a conscious decision. Like Scott and I, we got together and we're like, I've never had anything work out. Have you? And then we both just said, we're going to go to therapy. Let's do this. We both want to have a long-term relationship. And I know that I certainly haven't been able to succeed. So, I'm a part of that problem. So, and that's really helped, is to try to get as much support as possible. And again, even if it's shitty, like even if it's like not the greatest help, the effort of trying to help yourself, I think, is somewhat healing. We have a therapist who, she takes our insurance, and she's through telehealth, and her name's Carol Grisham, and she's perfectly nice. And she says things like, she's just very, you guys are just doing great. And awesome. Maybe it might be someone who might be more helpful to get more assignments or something. But
I think a great indicator that you are with the right person is that you and your husband, Scott Marvel Cassidy, make up songs about your relationship therapist.
Yes, we did. We did make up a song. Scott he likes to do repetitive singing. It kind of calms him down. And I was okay with that. Like, I'm like, that's comedians. That is what comedians are doing all the time. It's
delightful.
Just repetitive joke telling, just trying to calm themselves down by talking. And so he was so grateful, because I guess many of his girlfriends had said, you have got to stop singing that song right now. And I was like, no, let's do it. Let's get into that song. Let's write new verses. Let's sing it louder.
I'm trying to think of one of the verses that really made me snort laugh. And I just loved it, because I do that too. I make up songs about my dog, about my kids, and I mean, it delights me and almost nobody else. So I feel like the two of you appreciating that is a great sign.
Yes, it is good. Yeah, there's something about, because there's a lot of little empty time where you can't share any new information with each other. Like nothing's happened recently. I mean, Scott always surprises me. Like, he'll come out with some piece of information. I'll be like, what? But yeah, sometimes you got to fill the space with we sing Billy Joel songs to the lyrics of Turkey Leg, Chicken Leg.
Can you give us an example of that, Maria?
Let me see. Turkey leg, a chicken leg, and a turkey leg, the turkey, the chick leg, turkey, the chick leg. I do turkey leg. It's not good, It's not.
And hang on, I'm hearing the tune. It's you're in an old white dress and a party on your confirmation. It's that song, isn't it?
You're a professional singer.
Oh, Maria, I am not. I just enjoy it in the shower. Your book deals with sort of the intrinsic desire to belong. And, I think we are born with that. And you suggest that a really great hack, and I agree with this, is find belonging wherever you can, especially with the person that makes your coffee.
Yes.
Oh.
Know everyone's name at the coffee shop. Currently at my coffee shop, it's Kimmy, Ethan, Paulina, Anthony, and Anja. Those are there's high turnover as well. So, but yeah, try to find out what's going on in their lives. We're going to go to a potluck with the baristas tomorrow night.
Yes. You should make porcupines.
I hope I'll have enough time. But that is a great idea. That might be a real showstopper.
It will be a real showstopper. The reason I love connecting with your barista is quite often they are the only person that does something lovely for you in a day, and you see them every day. So use that.
Yes, and tip them. I don't know if this is in Australia, but I'm tipping 30% now because the emotional work the labor that baristas are taking on. You go, hi Kimmy, how are you doing? How'd that pottery class go? Like, she is like holding space for me like a heavy anvil.
You should sing little songs about her like you do Cheryl Grisham.
I think that's a great idea, and as soon as we get off, I will begin the writing process, the composing.
Now, you have 2 rescue dogs. This might be outdated, and it's always a tricky thing to bring up because,
yes.
Dogs pass away. But do you still have Blueberry and Bert?
No.
Oh, God.
A few years ago. It's okay. That's what we have a graphic novel out called Hog Book and Laser Eyes, which was our internet screen names when we first met. And our current dogs are Muffin and Max.
Okay.
But we've had several. We usually get older dogs, and so sometimes they pass, and that's what happens. That's the life cycle.
Do you always get 2 at a time?
No. Once we got 2 at a time because they said they were a bonded pair and no one was taking them. They said one of the dogs had cancer, had like little lumps all over his body. And we're like, well, we'll take them because we don't have dependents. And it turns out Arnold, the pug, was covered in bumps, just had hives. He was just an anxious dude.
Oh, my God.
Cancer.
That is a hard relate. I love an anxious pet because I'm like, I understand you. You are in the right house.
That's right. Yeah, they're supposed to be for emotional support, but I think we're both calming each other down. I'm glad they bark on my behalf.
Well, yes, and that's the thing. My dog loses his mind if somebody comes to the house because he is a deep homebody like me. So I really relate. Is there anything better than being at home?
It's pretty wonderful. I love people. Do love people coming over. And so I love parties. That's also fun too. I do like it when people come over and I can just sit and watch people within my own home.
Yes. Yes, I love that too. You've got to make porcupines next time you have guests. I want to talk.
will.
You really will. I'm going to send you the recipe as soon as I get off this call.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's very kind.
And it's easy and your dogs will love it too. Now, I want to talk about Hogbook and Laser Eyes because you and I are of a similar vintage. And, we were there at the birth of online dating. And I do believe that there's almost no other way to meet anyone anymore.
Yeah, I really like it because it does have a statement of purpose. The person has said in some way, at least now, I don't know what it's like now, but at that time you had to say what kind of relationship you're looking for. And yeah, at least in one place, somebody had said what they wanted. Because when you meet people in person, you don't know, like sometimes you find out later, like, oh, I want to be in a polyquad, and which, yeah, would be great to know before the first date, really.
It's easy to perform in person as well. Like someone can show you a version of themselves that is so far removed from the reality.
Yes. So I loved dating on the internet. I thought it was very positive experience. I usually would always call someone before meeting them just because you don't know, like somebody can also have someone hired to write their thing and then they don't sound like that at all.
Yeah.
So I had that happen at least once where a guy sounds very literate and just really well done profile, and then when I talked to him, every other word was, your voice is hot. I just think this is going to be really hot. This is. I think if we got together, if that might be hot for you, I'm just a very physical person. I was like, who's this guy? So it's good to talk to him beforehand before meeting for coffee. And then you just meet for coffee, half hour. That's it.
That's it, bare minimum. And you will know in your gut what is going on there. Mm-hmm. And you also get a chance to, pick the right username. You chose Hogbook. And I think that straight away you are going to weed out people that do not have your sense of humour, which is a key element.
That was the idea. I had for many years on the internets, I put funny, thoughtful. Well, that casts too wide a net. And many people find themselves to be funny and thoughtful, as they should. So Hogbook, one guy.
That is genius. When back in the day when me and my friend hit the internet dating, God, I love Hogbook. I wish I'd known that when I was back there. But my friend chose, and I want to get your opinion on this. My friend chose pulsating vulva.
Well, I mean, is that a part of her persona where she, because if she's pro sex and, into it as a thing, or if that's her sense of humor, that she's kind of a raw dog, then that's perfect.
Yeah, well, she did end up getting a whole lot of, applicants, let's say.
Sure.
That I think sounded like that guy that was, this is going to be hot.
This is going to be really hot.
You sound hot.
Yeah. Did she find a sweet pea?
She did.
Oh, well then there it is.
Perfect. It's the formula. Go crazy on the username. Now, Maria Bamford, we are running out of time and I'm so grateful for the time that you've given me. I just want to ask you, what would you rather do? Be skinned alive or attend an audition?
I of course would being skinned alive is an arduous process and it hurts. Attending an audition is ludicrous. I won't get the job, so I know what's going to happen. I go in, I just completely go balls out with my performance of what they're not going to enjoy it, and then I'm out. I'm out. So definitely audition.
Maria Bamford, you are on your way to Australia, and we cannot wait to have you back here. It's been a long 5 years and we've missed you very much.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. I really appreciate your time. And yes, good. Looking forward to the trip.
Keep your eyes peeled in your email address for the porcupine recipe, my darling.
Yes. Porcupine.
Ah! Thanks, Maria. Oh, she's just glorious, isn't she? You can see why Judd Apatow calls her the funniest woman in the world. And I feel like porcupines. Get tickets to see Maria Bamford on her Australian tour at www.destroyalllines.com and find her brilliant memoir. It's called Sure, I'll Join Your Cult at all good bricks and mortar and online bookstores. Head over to the ChrissieCast on Insta and Facebook, because if you think I haven't done a reel on how you can make those porcupines at home, you are dead wrong. Loved your company. Meet you back here in a few days for more shenanigans.